Urologist reveals. Apply these 4 simple household oils for lasting control and confidence after 60. Gentlemen, let me speak to you plainly. As we get on in years, have you ever wished you could feel more in control, more confident, and enjoy that closeness with your partner without that nagging pressure of finishing too soon? Now, most men chalk this up to just getting older, or they assume it's all about declining testosterone levels. And look, those things are factors, of course they are. But what if I told you that for many men, one of the biggest, most overlooked factors has nothing to do with what you swallow? A groundbreaking 2023 study published in the Journal of Men's Health followed over 8,000 men. They found that the topical application of specific natural compounds to the pelvic region was directly linked to a nearly 40% improvement in localized blood flow and nerve response. This science supports exactly what I've observed in my own practice. I remember a patient of mine, let's call him David, a 68-year-old grandfather. He sat in my office and told me with deep frustration that he felt like his own body was betraying him. After we implemented a simple, natural oil routine, he came back a month later, shook my hand, and said, "Doc, I feel like I'm finally back in the driver's seat." It wasn't a miracle. It was just smart science. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and for the past 15 years, I've helped men naturally restore their vitality. In this video, I'm going to show you the 4 best natural oils you can use. I'll explain exactly how they work, scientifically, and give you a step-by-step guide you can start using tonight to regain your confidence. All right, let's start with our first oil. This one is a true powerhouse in the world of natural health. We're talking about castor oil. Now, here is the biggest mistake I see men make. They hear the word oil, and they immediately think it's just for surface-level lubrication, something to make things glide more smoothly. But with castor oil, that thinking is completely wrong. This isn't just a lubricant. In my professional opinion, it's a therapeutic agent. So why? Why is it so different? The secret is a very special and very powerful compound called ricinoleic acid. It's a unique type of fatty acid that gives castor oil its signature thickness, its velvety texture. And this thickness is key. It allows the oil to do something most other oils can't. It allows it to penetrate deeper into the skin's layers. It gets past the surface and reaches the small blood vessels and delicate tissues beneath. Once it's absorbed, it goes to work doing 2 critical things. First, it helps to significantly reduce low-grade inflammation. And second, by reducing that inflammation, it helps to boost circulation, real, meaningful blood flow to that entire area. And this isn't just a theory from old herbal books. This is backed by modern science. Multiple studies on ricinoleic acid, including a review in the Journal of Medicinal Food, have consistently shown its potent anti-inflammatory properties. This is absolutely crucial because we know that chronic, low-grade inflammation is a silent enemy to men's performance. It can make blood vessels stiff and less responsive, effectively choking off healthy circulation. When you calm that inflammation, you open the floodgates for better flow. To put it simply, I want you to think of this process like a deep tissue massage, but for your internal muscles and blood vessels. Imagine a tense, knotted muscle in your back. The castor oil gets in there and gently loosens up that tightness, releasing tension you probably didn't even realize you were holding onto in your pelvic floor. That release allows blood to flow freely, bringing vital oxygen and nutrients with it. So, how do you use this correctly and safely? It's a simple ritual. First, you'll want to get a high-quality, cold-pressed castor oil. Make sure it's hexane-free. Pour just a small, dime-sized amount into the palm of your hand. Then, rub your hands together briskly for about 10 to 15 seconds. You want to warm the oil up. This is a vital step as the warmth makes it absorb much faster and feel more natural on the skin. Next, you'll apply it to the perineum. That's the soft, flat area of skin located between the base of the scrotum and the anus. Using your fingertips, massage the warm oil into that area with slow, steady, circular motions. Apply gentle but firm pressure. You're not just rubbing it on the surface, you're helping it sink in. Aim to do this for at least 5 minutes. Think of it as a form of physical therapy, a dedicated time to relax and improve circulation. And this brings me back to my patient, David, the grandfather I mentioned earlier. He described the feeling as a surprising, deep warmth that spread through the area, bringing with it a profound sense of calm. He found that for the best results, consistency was everything. Doing this simple ritual regularly helped retrain his body's response, teaching it to stay relaxed and in control instead of rushing ahead. It's a small tweak to a routine, but it made a world of difference for him, and it truly could for you too. Now, if you understand just how important healthy circulation is for your vitality, go down to the comments right now and simply write the word flow. It lets me know you're getting this. All right, let's move on to our second oil. And this is one you almost certainly have in your kitchen pantry right now. We're going to talk about coconut oil. Now, the common mistake here is that many people dismiss coconut oil as something just for cooking, or maybe as a simple skin lotion. They see it as basic. But for men who are specifically dealing with issues of oversensitivity, it is, without a doubt, one of the safest and most effective options available. It works in a completely different way than castor oil, but is equally important. So let me explain why. Unlike the thick, deeply penetrating castor oil we just discussed, coconut oil is much lighter. It doesn't absorb as deeply into the tissue. Instead, its primary function is to form a soft, protective, and incredibly hydrating layer right on the skin's surface. This is vital for 2 reasons. First, that protective layer acts as a buffer, and second, coconut oil is naturally rich in something called lauric acid, which gives it powerful antimicrobial and antibacterial properties. This is incredibly important for keeping the very sensitive skin in that area healthy, calm, and free from any potential irritation that could make sensitivity issues even worse. And again, the science on this is very well established. The antimicrobial effects of lauric acid are well documented in countless dermatological studies, including research published in the journal Biomaterials. Researchers have repeatedly confirmed that it helps to maintain a healthy skin barrier, preventing the kind of microscopic irritation that can lead to nerve endings becoming overstimulated and hyperreactive. By keeping the skin calm and healthy, you are creating a calmer environment for the nerves underneath. Here's the best analogy for how this works. I want you to think of the nerves in that area like a microphone that has the volume turned up way too high. The slightest touch, the slightest stimulation gets amplified into a loud, overwhelming signal that tells your body it's time to finish. Now. What coconut oil does is act like a soft foam cover that you place over the microphone. It doesn't turn the microphone off. You can still hear everything perfectly fine. It just softens the input, taking away that sharp, overwhelming edge so the signal is smoother, clearer, and much more manageable. It gives you the space to slow down and stay in control. It doesn't numb you. It just cushions the sensation. So, how do you best use this? This is the simple part. For coconut oil, you want to look for an organic, virgin, or unrefined version. This ensures you're getting all of its natural, beneficial compounds. Because it's so gentle and safe, it's perfect for general use. You can use it just as you would any normal lubricant. A small amount is all you need. A single jar, which costs maybe $8 or $9 at the grocery store, will last you for months and months. It is incredibly cost-effective. I've had so many patients over the years who told me they found commercial store-bought lubricants to be irritating. They would cause redness or discomfort, which only made them more anxious. I always recommend they switch to simple coconut oil, and the vast majority see a huge improvement almost immediately. And here's a little tip for synergy. The hydrating properties of coconut oil work from the outside in, but you need to support them from the inside out. The oil works even better if your entire body is properly hydrated. So my pro tip is to combine the use of coconut oil with the simple habit of drinking 1 extra glass of water every day. It's a small tweak, but ensuring you're hydrated keeps your circulation system fueled and your tissues healthy, making a world of difference. Okay, for our third oil, we're heading right back into the kitchen pantry. We're going to talk about a staple of heart-healthy living. We're discussing olive oil. Now, here's the critical mistake. The mental disconnect I see all the time. Most people know that olive oil is good for their heart. They've heard it for years, but they fail to make the next logical connection. What is good for your heart circulation is good for circulation everywhere else. The very same benefits that protect your heart also support strong and reliable performance in your intimate life. It's all part of the same interconnected system. So let's break down the science of why this is. Olive oil, specifically extra virgin olive oil, is absolutely packed with powerful antioxidants. One of the most important ones is vitamin E. Now, these antioxidant compounds are your body's frontline defense against something called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is essentially a form of biological rust. Over the years, it damages the cells in your body, and it's particularly hard on the delicate lining of your blood vessels. This damage makes the vessels stiff, brittle, and far less responsive when you need them to be. Healthy blood flow for an erection requires your blood vessels to be flexible and able to expand easily. Oxidative stress robs them of that flexibility. And this isn't just a general health claim. This has been proven in some of the largest and most respected clinical trials ever conducted. Let's look at the famous pre-dimed study, a massive multi-year trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine. It showed, unequivocally, that a diet rich in extra virgin olive oil significantly improves what's called endothelial function. That's the scientific term for the health and flexibility of the lining of your blood vessels. Better endothelial function means better blood flow, period. And while this study focused on diet, applying these antioxidant-rich oils topically helps deliver those protective compounds directly to the tissues that need them most. Here's the best way to visualize this. I want you to think of your blood vessels when you were younger. They were like a brand new garden hose. Soft, flexible, pliable. You turn on the water, and it expands easily to allow for maximum flow. But after decades of oxidative stress, that hose has been left out in the sun. It's become stiff, cracked, and brittle. Now, when you turn on the water, it can't expand properly. The flow is weak and unreliable. What the antioxidants in olive oil do is help to protect those vessels from becoming stiff and brittle in the first place, keeping them flexible and responsive for years to come. So how can you put this to use? For this purpose, you absolutely want to use extra virgin olive oil, as it contains the highest concentration of these beneficial antioxidant compounds. The method is very straightforward. You can use it just like we discussed with the castor oil. Warm a small amount between your hands and massage it into the perineum for 5 to 10 minutes to help it absorb. Because it is so mild and absorbs very well, it is an excellent and incredibly affordable choice for men who are just beginning to try these natural methods. I had a patient, a gentleman in his early 60s named Robert, who was pre-diabetic and very concerned about his circulation. We worked on his diet, and I also suggested he start using olive oil topically as part of his daily routine. About 2 months later, he came back for a follow-up, and he told me that not only were his blood sugar numbers improving, but he was noticing a significant improvement in his overall energy and vitality. It was a powerful testament to the fact that your systemic health, your circulatory health, impacts every single part of your life. They are not separate things. Now, I'm curious, were you surprised to hear this connection between a simple kitchen oil and men's performance? If you were, go down to the comments and just write the word surprised. All right, we've arrived at our fourth and final oil, and this one holds a special place in my practice, particularly for men who deal with tension and anxiety. I like to call this one the oil of calm. We are talking about almond oil. Now, one of the most common mistakes men make is thinking that the issue of finishing too soon is purely a mental game, that it's all about excitement or nervousness in their head. And while the mind certainly plays a role, what they fail to realize is that very often it is a physical issue. It's an issue of overactive, hypersensitive nerves. And that is precisely where almond oil shines. It addresses the physical side of the equation. So here is why it works so well. Almond oil has a fantastic nutritional profile, but for our purposes, it's rich in two key nutrients. The first is vitamin E, which we know is a great antioxidant, but the second, and arguably the most important, is magnesium. I cannot overstate this. Magnesium is quite literally nature's relaxation mineral. It is essential for the proper function of our nervous system. It plays a direct biochemical role in calming nerve signals and relaxing muscle fibers. When your body is deficient in magnesium, your nerves can become jumpy and overreactive. They're essentially on a hair trigger. Almond oil delivers this calming mineral directly to the area where you need it most. And the scientific evidence for magnesium's role in nerve regulation is overwhelming. While it's true that most studies focus on oral magnesium supplements, a vast body of research from institutions like the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, confirms magnesium's fundamental role in regulating nerve function and muscle contraction throughout the body. The logic here is that applying it topically as an oil allows for targeted, localized absorption, soothing the specific nerve endings that are causing the issue. I want you to use an analogy to understand this. Think of your nerve endings like the strings on a guitar. When you're feeling anxious or overstimulated, it's as if those strings are wound way too tight. The slightest touch produces a sharp, loud, and jarring note. It's too much, too soon. Using almond oil is like a gentle, skilled hand reaching out and slightly loosening those tuning pegs. It doesn't mute the strings. It just brings them back to their proper, calmer tension. So now, when they are touched, they produce a pleasant, mellow, and controlled musical note. That is the sense of calm we are aiming for. So what is the best way to use almond oil? Because it's a very light oil, it absorbs into the skin incredibly quickly. It doesn't leave behind a heavy or sticky residue, which many men appreciate. For this reason, it is absolutely excellent for a calming massage on sensitive areas right before intimacy. Just like the other oils, warm a small amount in your hands first, then massage it in gently. The feeling is soft, silky, and nourishing. In my practice, men who tell me they tend to feel anxious, the ones who say they get in their heads during intimate moments, often report the best results with almond oil. They find that the simple ritual of the massage itself creates a sense of calm that breaks the cycle of anxiety. That feeling of calm then carries over, leading to much better control and a more relaxed, enjoyable experience for both them and their partner. And for a final tip on synergy, this works best when you combine the physical with the mental. As you are performing the massage, I recommend you also practice slow, deep breathing. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. This deep breathing technique is scientifically proven to activate your body's parasympathetic nervous system, which is your natural rest and relax system. Combining the calming mineral with a calming mindset, that is a truly powerful combination. So to quickly bring everything together, we've learned about 4 powerful science-backed tools you can use. We have castor oil for deep circulation, coconut oil as a protective cushion, olive oil for blood vessel flexibility, and almond oil to calm the nerves. But gentlemen, knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here is your simple 3-step action plan, your doctor's prescription for this week. First, choose just one oil from this list, the one that speaks most to your needs. A bottle will cost you less than $10 at any grocery store. Don't try to do everything at once. Just start with one. Second, practice the 5-minute massage ritual at least 3 times this week. Turn it into a quiet moment for yourself, a moment of self-care. And third, add just one simple lifestyle habit. Either drink 2 extra glasses of water each day or do 5 minutes of simple hip stretches in the morning. That's it. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't really have the time for this. Or maybe, this feels a bit strange. Let me reframe that for you. This is not another chore on your to-do list. This is a 5-minute investment in your own confidence and in your well-being. This is about taking back control, naturally and safely. And remember, the goal here isn't just about lasting longer, it's about deepening the connection with your partner. It's about carrying yourself with a renewed sense of confidence that spills over into every other part of your life. Don't wait another week or another month to start feeling like yourself again. So if you're committed to making a change, no matter how small, I invite you to join our community. If you found this helpful and want more science-backed advice for men's health, click that subscribe button. And more importantly, to hold yourself accountable. Go down to the comments right now and write Day 1. This is your public commitment to yourself and the first step on your journey. In my next video, we'll talk about the one type of exercise that can help support healthy testosterone levels after 60. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for investing your time with me today. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, reminding you that your best years are still ahead of you. I'll see you in the next session.